It's actually really hard to believe that at one point in time I hated using Canva because now I use it every single day. And the greatest part about this is that they actually give you a ton of free templates and designs that you can use, so you don't need to have any type of design experience in order to use the software. Why am I such a bonehead? Today, what I'm going to show you how to do is create one of these daily planners that stick together and look like one of those really expensive notebooks that you would purchase from a boutique. But I'm going to show you today how we are only going to use Canva and our at-home printer to create these really cool notebooks that just glue together and you can flip them right off. Now, you are going to need a couple supplies in order to assemble the actual notebooks, but the designing of it all should be free within Canva. The supplies that you're going to need is going to be some PVA glue. Today, I'm going to be using my tacky glue just because I have it on hand. In previous videos, I've actually used Maker's Magic or even Elmer's glue. Whatever glue you have on hand will work for today's project. You are just going to need some basic copy paper. Nothing fancy here, okay, my friends? Now, I have purchased some chipboard, and I did forget to mention all the supplies are linked in the description of this video. But if you just have some cardboard laying on hand, like cereal cardboard or anything like that, and you want to keep this project super cheap, just pick some of that up because we are going to need that for your backers. You're going to need some binder clips to make sure that everything gets held together while we glue it, a paintbrush to paint on your glue, and then if you are going to create a half size like what I have here, you are going to need a paper trimmer. Now, you do not have to make it half size, and I will show you why you don't have to make it half size. But this right here is half of a letter sheet. So we are going to double up our notebook to create something that looks like this. I personally think that this actually is a very decent size. However, if you do not want to get a paper trimmer, you don't have to. You can make this regular full size, not an issue. All right, my friends, we have covered over all of the supplies that we are going to need. I told you it wasn't that much. Now let's head over to Canva where we create the coolest notebooks that we can just print and simply make at home. Let's go. All right, so the very first thing that you have to do is head over into Canva. And then what we're going to do is we are going to come over here into custom sizes. What I want you to do now is change this over from pixels to inches. Now, this is actually really important, okay? If you are trying to create a half size planner like me that isn't a full sheet, 8.5 by 11, but half a sheet, you're going to need to do this project twice, and I'll explain that here in a little bit. However, if you only wanted to do one 8.5 by 11 and you did not want to use a paper trimmer, what I need you to do is make this 8.5 by 11 inches. However, I'm going to show you how we do 2 up on an 8.5 by 11 sheet. So what I want you to do is create this size, the 5.5 by 8.5 inches. It is going to look something like this. All right, so I have already created 2 different options, but let's just say that this is what your sheet of paper looks like. To make this easy peasy lemon squeezy, what we are going to do is we are going to come up here into design. And remember what I said, like we can make this a planner, a note card, an agenda, anything that your heart can think of or your mind can think of, that's what you want to put in here. So since we are on the subject of planners, let's just put planner inside the search bar and press go. Now, if you do not have Canva Pro, you are not going to be able to do the ones that have a crown. However, if you do have Canva Pro, everything here is going to be available for you to use. The one thing that I do love about Canva is that even if you do not pay for Canva Pro, I honestly do not feel limited on the things and options that I can choose from. So just take this purple planner right here. Oh, forgot to mention, it is okay if you do not like the colors of this template. We're going to change it and customize it to our liking, okay? So just find one layout that you like. Doesn't matter which one you choose, the world is your oyster. Just find one that you like. I think I'm going to come back up here and I'm going to choose this one up here, and let's just do a daily planner. This one right here has a lot of different elements and things that we can customize to our liking. So all I'm going to do is I am going to click on that and it's going to insert into my project. Now, things that you can customize is going to be absolutely everything here in the template. So let's say you don't like this dusty rose background. All you need to do is come up here into the background color and change it to whatever color your heart desires. You can even come up here into add a new color, and we can just choose a new color over here. Or if you wanted gradient colors, you could totally choose your own gradient colors. Then let's say you didn't even like the font that this template included. All you need to do is click on this, come up here into the font choice. Now, if you are using free Canva, everything that does have a crown, you cannot use, but the things that don't, you can use. So if you wanted to use Beth Ellen as your font, all you would need to do is click on the font. Let's make sure that everything is not uppercase, and there you go. Look at that. So simple and easy. Oh, the other thing that I love about Canva is all of these like to-do list things, they're all the same type of font, right? This Roboto. I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to click on just a random font. Down here, it's going to say change everything that is Roboto to fit this new font. If I press change all, look what happens. Everything changes in a click of a button. That is how easy it is to customize anything within Canva. Again, I can't believe it took me so long to actually fall in love with this system because it is so easy to use. Now, going back over into more color customizations, if you want to, by clicking one of these boxes, I see that this pink, I want to change this pink. So I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to do blue. Again, this color swatch thing pops up. We can change everything to change all. Now, there was only one of those pinks, so let's come over here into this box, and we'll change this one over to, I'm going to do a darker blue, and then change all. And look at that. I've pretty much customized this entire daily planner without actually having to know and do any type of design work. Now, this call note sheet is something that I am going to print out and make a whole notebook out of because I actually do some coaching on Tuesdays, and I love to take down notes of like the things that I've coached on that coaching call. So this is a whole notepad that I am going to print off today. How simple it was to create this project is I am just going to open up a new page. Again, you do not have to have any type of design experience in order to create really cool things within Canva. I am just going to take this background, and I'm going to change it over into white because I only want a white background. And then what I am going to do is I'm going to come up here into elements, and I'm going to come over here and click this line. Now, if you did not see the line, because I'm assuming it's not going to be in your recently used, all you want to do is come over here into shapes, and you can come into lines, and this is the line that I chose. Now, if you do not like the thickness of this line, you can come over here to stroke width, and you can change the thickness. You can make these dash lines or whatever it is that you choose. And I want to make this the full width of my page. Now, if you want this to be a different color, you can change that now, or you can wait, and we'll do that really cool color changing thing here in a bit. And I am just going to fill up my page. So I'm going to take my line, my singular line, I'm going to Command D, which is duplicate. This is essentially like copy and paste. And I'm just going to fill up my page. So just Command D and duplicate. You can see that I have things going haywire. That is perfectly fine, okay? I'm just going to put in a bunch of these lines, and I'm going to Command A, which is select all. All right, I want to make my very last line to come somewhere towards the bottom like this. So this is what my file is going to look like right now. Doesn't look like a whole lot. Doesn't look like we're going to get anywhere, but I swear it will. What we're going to do is we are going to do position, center, and then we're going to come over here and press tidy up. Now I'm going to drag this over to the right just so it fills over here onto the right hand side. Now we have essentially a lined notepad. Now with these lines, I'm just going to select all the lines. I'm going to come up here into that stroke color, and I'm just going to choose a new color for my lines and click out of that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select one of my lines because I want to have I want it to feel like an actual notebook, like a sheet of notebook paper like this. So I need a vertical line, right? You could insert another line if you wanted to, but I'm just going to take one of my lines and I'm going to Command D, which is duplicate. Go in here to positions, and I'm going to rotate this 90 degrees. Then I'm going to just drag this over to the right just a little bit, just so it feels like an actual notebook. And I'm going to make this as tall as my sheet of paper. Now I want this to be a different color because traditionally a regular line notebook is a different color. The vertical line is a different color from the horizontal ones. So I'm just going to select that color and I'm going to choose a new color. Now in this call notes thing that I have, you see some text box here, right? So in order to get a new text box, what you want to do is press T on your keyboard and a text box will pop up. You can put whatever you want on here. If you wanted to do call notes, you totally could. I'm only going to do call because you can see how I have two separate text boxes here. So I'm only going to work with one line and I'm only going to do call for right now. Let's just bring that up there. And now, please, 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 whatever you do, do not use Canva Sans as your font for any project. This is like a basic font that everyone uses, and I don't want your projects to look basic at all. So what we're going to do is we're going to come up here into text, and we are going to change your text. You can choose whatever you want. I did Beth Sans, I believe, for which one? What fonts did I choose for this? I did Hibernate for the top and Spartan for the bottom. So let's just do matchy-matchy. Hibernate for the top. Okay, like what I got. I'm going to take this, I'm going to Command D, which is duplicate. Double click, and this one I'm going to put notes. Go up into Hibernate, and we'll do Spartan. And I want this to be all capitalized, so I'm going to come up here and I'm going to make everything capital. All right, and there, my friends, is our finished project. So now at this point in time, what we have to do, because this is just a half sheet of paper, and we actually need it to be 2 up. So what you need to do at this point is you need to save your file. So if this is the file that you are wanting, I am going to drag this over just a little bit. All right. So this file is the one that I want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here into share and then download. I am going to select the page that I want to print. So just this one page, or I'm not really printing it. I want to save it. So we're just going to save this one page. Now, if you have standard Canva and you're not paying for Canva Pro, it's going to want to save at your 1 resolution. That is totally fine, okay? You know what, to be honest with you, I'm actually gonna do this right here, just so it makes it the same for everyone if you decided to only use free Canva. Now what we're gonna do is press download, and we are going to download our new notebook. Okay. I'm going to save call notes PNG and then just press save. Now that we have that saved, what we have to do is now create a whole new document, okay? So what you're going to do is come back over here into the house. Now remember, if you only wanted to create one full-size sheet of thing, you actually didn't even have to do that first step, the saving or whatever, because your document is already 8.5 by 11. This is only reserved for the people that wanted to do the half size just like me. So now at this point, what you have to do is come over here into custom sizes, switch this over from pixels to inches, and you want to create this document 8.5 by 11, okay? Once you're done doing that, it's going to create a new design, and this is what your file is going to look like. Something like this, okay? What you want to do is, I'm just going to add a page, but you want to just have a blank page, is you want to take your download that you just downloaded, that call notes that I just downloaded, we're going to drag and drop it into Canva. Now I need to rotate this 90 degrees, so either you can take this and rotate it 90, or you can come up here into position, arrange, and rotate this 90 degrees. And I'm going to drag this up to the top left corner, and make this as large as I can that will fit on the page. This is what your finished size should look like. It's going to be 5.5 by 8.5, okay? Just like the original, remember this was our original notebook size. This file size was 5.5 by 8.5. This is going to be the same thing. It's going to be 5.5 by 8.5. Now what you have to do is you need to duplicate this. So we're going to Command D, which is duplicate. And I'm going to drag this and put this at the very bottom, making sure that it all lines up. Just like this. All right, at this point in time, we are done with the design process and working in Canva. So what you want to do is you want to press share and download. I only want to save and print the page that I am working on and press done. We are going to press download. Okay, then I'm going to press save. And then I'm going to go into my downloads folder and open up that saved file that we just created. All right, at this point in time, what you want to do is press Command P, which is print. And then the coolest part about my printer is that I actually have a full borderless printer. So I'm not going to have any type of border that I'm going to need to cut off on my prints, which I absolutely love. So what I'm going to do is come over here into paper size and I'm going to click borderless. Now it will be kind of hard to see over on the left in that preview. I can tell that there is a border around there, but watch, just pay attention to that little rectangle, because when I click borderless, the image itself is going to just get bigger, and that's because it takes away the border or that buffer around the print. So let's click on borderless, pay attention to that square. See how that entire thing just filled up in that page? That means that I'm not going to have any border, which is amazing. So I'm just going to make 10 copies of my piece of paper, because 10, that will end up leaving me with 20 of these things, which I think is going to be okay. I'm going to come down here into print media quality, and I am only going to do plain paper because I'm only using normal copy paper for this project. Now, before I go and press print, I need to go and load up my printer with some copy paper. Now that I have my printer loaded up, what I'm going to do is press print, and we are going to wait for this to get done printing all 10 sheets. All right, now that we have everything printed out, what you are going to need is your piece of cardboard, or chipboard is what I'm using. And then you are going to need your stack of call notes or your daily planner, whatever it is that you created. And we are going to make one cut off of this. And the reason why I only want to do one is because then it'll pretty much ensure that everything will be perfectly cut in the right size at one time. So I'm going to be using this one right here, and this has some ruler marks. And I only want to cut this at 5.5 inches. Remember, the half mark is 5.5, okay? So I'm going to drag this all the way in here. I'm going to line my paper up to 5.5 inches. And I'm going to take this. Okay, and I'm going to make one solid cut right down the middle, all right? Now, if you had a guillotine cutter, that would work too. I do actually have a guillotine cutter, but unfortunately, I call it guillotine. Is it guillotine? Every single time I say those words, I always get corrected that I say it wrong. Guillotine, guillotine, whatever it is that I have, I need to sharpen the blade. All right, so now that we are done cutting our sheets of paper, it's really easy when you just have to do it once. All you want to do is take and make this nice and flat on the top side, okay? Now, if you are doing half size as me, you have one sheet of cardboard already down at the bottom, and technically we have this that you're not going to end up using it, but you do need to use it for when we glue everything together, okay? It just protects your top sheet. Actually, here's the deal, is if you didn't care about your top sheet, you could totally just not use this, but I'm telling you, we're going to rip this off when it's done being dried, and then you're not going to need it, okay? So I am just going to create a sandwich. It's going to look like a cardboard sandwich. And then what we are going to do, make sure they're nice and straight and top on the bottom, is I'm going to take my binder clips and I'm going to do one on one side and then one on another. We are going to use 2 more to go at the top, but just for right now, I'm only going to do the sides, okay? I'm going to take a messed up piece of cardboard, and then I'm going to take some of my tacky glue. I use this stuff because it's super thick, which I do like the consistency of it because it makes it to where it's like going to really get into all the crevices of these pieces of paper. And so it doesn't, like you're not going to have any loose pieces of paper. You know what I mean? Okay, so I am now just going to take my paintbrush and I'm going to brush the edges of this. And to be honest with you, for this type of glue, because it is on the thicker side, I would say like if you wanted to be kind of heavy-handed on the glue, you totally can. I know with the Maker's Magic, when I was using that, I didn't use a whole lot of glue because it's a very liquidy glue and it kind of spills out everywhere and I didn't want to get ripples on my paper. But this one, I'm not too worried about it because it is a thicker glue. It's not going anywhere. And you know, this project would be perfect for custom, like personalized stationery. So if you wanted to make your own notepads with your name on them, you totally can do that. That would be such a cute idea for a newly married person that just changed their name, or even like a graduation present, you know, like, like when my brother-in-law graduated from law school, like everyone was giving him like custom stationery and like custom pens and stuff like that. This would be a perfect graduation gift, newlywed gift, bridesmaid, or like a bachelorette type gift, bridal party. There's so many uses for this. Okay, when you're done making sure that everything is glued down, all you want to do at this point is take 2 more of these and just, you don't want to glue them. Just give yourself a little bit of a buffer, but we want to just press them together at the very top. Again, this just makes sure that you have a nice good seal on your glue at the very top of the binding, so then it won't like fall apart on you. You know what I mean? Like this one right here is stuck. They ain't flopping around anywhere. I mean, this bottom part will, right? But not the top. The top won't. That's because you made sure it was glued. Now, what I want you to do is resist the urge to taking the binder clips off before the glue is dry. Depending on your glue, sometimes it takes an hour, sometimes it takes 5 minutes. Also depends on like how much glue you put on your things, but give it time to dry, okay? Then when you are done letting it dry, you're just gonna take the binder clips off and peel off the top cardboard, leaving you with whatever it is that you printed on the very front, just like this. And that is it, my friends. We created 2 custom notebooks. Well, actually we created 1 together, but I created 2 all in 1 day. And it only took me about 30 minutes for both of them to have my own custom notebooks. And I made them for free within Canva, which is the coolest part about all of this, is that I didn't have to actually know any type of designs in order to create. I'm trying to show you this, but they ain't nothing to see. But you really didn't need any type of knowledge on designs in order to create your own notebook, which is amazing. All right, y'all, I sure hope I inspired you to create, and I'll see you next time.